have to find the keys, right? And then you have to use your imagination and develop your psychic intuition where you can keep analyzing what's being said, who's saying it, where's it coming from, right? If you go back to that guy he said was writing the codes, his name is the code, right? So I don't know how you want to do this, but we could either dissect the video or we can go on to the regular Q&A.
Hey, like however you want to do it, but I got some questions concerning that video, and the questions that I had go along with that video.
Now, remember all the tough stuff I told you at the beginning, right? True.
About the 72 thing, because I was like, okay, do that connect with the 72 demons of Solomon?
Yeah, because only those are the energies that the 72 seals have in them.
Okay.
Only by knowing which seal, what these 72 seals is, they actually DNA codons.
Okay, go ahead.
Right. But when you know the energy frequency, when it's being used in the conjure spell, it'll stick out. Now notice they only put 5-pointed stars in all of the 72 seals. That's the reverse side of the coin. The other side is the sigil side. So the 5-point star represents Venus.
Go ahead.
Right, the aspect of the Great Mother that is her most seductive and her most loving. Right, when she goes to the Big Mama aspect, the old crone, she's now seasoned, well developed in her mental perception of this reality. Right. And now she's seated on the throne as the old crone, Big Mama. In the beginning stages is the young girl on her fool's journey to become Big Mama. Right. So they reenacting the story on the Blue House, which is signature of the Hiram key. Hiram Abiff, who was struck by 3 ruffians. Hold up. Yep.
Hey.
Hold on 1 second now.
Go ahead, handle business. Yeah, that's gonna bring me to my next question that I got. That's gonna tie into this whole thing. And if you're new to the channel, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Hey, Rod, this gonna tie what you just saying. This gonna tie. Now, this is the big question because I wrote this one down, man. I pondered on it all day. And you just said a lot on this already, and there's a lot out about it. But it seemed like to me, based on my research, as I'm still learning and going back and finding other stuff, I'm always finding a woman breastfeeding a child, like it's a male child, right? Even when I go back to studying the reptilians, they got the reptilian breastfeeding the male child. And then you go to the Inanna one, the Black Madonna one, Nimrod and his mother. I mean, it's always all the storylines, Jesus and his mother, Cleopatra and her son. It's always the mother-son concept. But it seemed like to me some kind of way they reversed it and made it father-son. They took the mother out and then put the father-son concept and the breastfeeding connection. Could you go in a little bit on that, the mother-son concept? Go ahead.
That's where you get your Masonic Lodge. Mother and son, mama trained the son. So in these depictions of this imagery, the woman breastfeeding the infant, but the father is always counseling a child. He's not never breastfeeding, right? He's standing either next to him or he's standing, kneeling down to talk to him. In our culture. The Roman culture is a little different. It's freaky. It's male on male freaky. Right? So the original was the birth of Earth's great defender, Heru. Heru's status as the prince, who's the heir to Osiris's throne, but there's one problem. His uncle Set is in the way. So Set in the way becomes Satan's way. So now he got to figure out, as the infant to the great mother, how do I get my mama her proper position back and take my father's throne as his redeemer? I had to get rid of Uncle Set. So we waged war, the Falcon, against Uncle Set, which is really the armadillo from the south of the United States, but that's a whole nother thing. The war between Horus and Set is a war for the throne of Osiris that Set usurped. Right? So who Set usurped means under something, Big Mama Seat. Do you know somebody who sit under Big Mama Seat, Elder?
The Pope.
The Pope.
Yeah. Peter's chair. Peter's chair.
Yeah. But St. Peter's chair is at a whole nother church.
Yeah. Go ahead. Break it down, right?
They use that because Peter is Pater and Pater is Father. So the Pope is holding Big Mama chair for his father, Set, that set him as a Jacobin, an underminer, under her throne to put the circle around the throne to block her from getting back to her seat. Right? So they show you the conjure magic part of it with the 72 stars in the uterus of the Great Mother. Right? But here's the part, if you notice at the beginning, she's not dressed like she from Egypt. She's not dressed like she from Rome. She dressed like Queen Califia. Play the first 30 seconds again, Elder. Where y'all can see her, and then stop when you get on her picture and see if we can blow it up.
Who can tell me what DC stands for? District of Columbia. So our country is ruled by the District of Columbia. Well, who's Columbia? Well, we walk over there to the Capitol building, and there's Columbia perched on top. Well, we walked into the Capitol building, and there's the original sculpture that the one on the roof was made from.
Damn, it won't let me pause it the way I got it.
Oh, it won't let you pause it?
Yeah, like it won't let me pause it right where is it. It just cut it off.
Okay, go ahead. Go. Because once you know, you ain't going to believe no more.
That's right.
You going to know it.
True that.
We was in the Piscean age of belief. Our head was underwater. We couldn't see clear.
Right.
Now our head is above water, coming into the Aquarian age. We can breathe the air. Right? So now we can see stuff for what it really is versus what they told us it was. And then we're going to tell everybody else what we see.
That's right. Do you think the information that's coming down is equally dispersed between matriarch and the rest of population? Like,
Big Mama assigned me the task of finding everything they use to take from the women, just restrict their powers, and then give it back.
Okay. Did you find it?
I'm giving it back in real time. Every talk I have is geared toward informing the women how to recover their power.
That's what's up. I'm not lying. And this is why I'm I don't want to say fascinated with you, but this is why I'm fascinated with you. It's because because it's like when you're learning something and you just can't let go. Like I gotta hear, it don't even matter what the title is, really. When you've got this kind of power to draw to, and it's real. I mean, it's real. That's why you like blowing the fuck up. It's like, why couldn't we get this kind of stuff, back in the 60s and 70s? And, we had to wait for the internet or, this thing. But why couldn't we get that quantum entanglement going on with this kind of information, way back when, or always, really, because we're always performing as the matriarch, no matter how battered we are or how degraded we get, we still have that presence of using those duties, those old archaic duties of the matriarch. I don't think ever really leaves a woman.
And that's how we spot them. I have to talk to matriarchs because they got to give me grievances to go around and find solutions to world problems, real life problems. The biggest grievance I got from mothers is babies dying in the street. That was the biggest grievance I got. So what I got to do is find out, why is the babies dying in the street? What happened? Who done it? Where did they come from? Why did they do it? What's their agenda? Right? And then in real time, how did they apply their strategy in order for our children to be killing each other like they are? So I went and found the answer. They used the doctrine of COINTELPRO as the cover story to take the leaders off the land. Once the leaders was taken off the land, they sent the imposters in to turn the children against each other, using the symbols as badges of honor in order to influence them to kill their cousins and their brothers from a different tribe. And the government was behind it the whole time. And the government was behind it because they was a fraud from the beginning. And as long as they can keep us fighting each other, we can't see the fraud because we're too busy fighting each other to know why we frustrated with each other. But we discover we frustrated with each other because nobody know the invisible man smacking upside the head is this nigga called himself the white man behind the scenes telling people how to put obstacles in our path using the sciences of sociology and spiritual sciences of alchemy. But bloodletting rituals in the form of slaughterhouses, and it began with the mass slaughter of the bison to send the great bloodletting ritual energy over the land. They say if we kill all the bisons, we kill all the natives. They damn near killed all the bisons and they ain't never got close to killing all of us. So they replaced our natural food stock of bison with bovine beef, man-made hybrid animal. And the meat is saturated fat, which clogs the brain and gives our elders dementia and Alzheimer's. Whereas the bison that we used to eat, though it was only ceremonial, it was polyunsaturated fat that facilitates the firing of the brain cells by lubricating the neurons. So that's why they wanted to get rid of the bison. So all of these things ties to the way that the foodstuffs affects the psychology of the people. The political arena is used to steer the narrative, and the spiritual doctrines of religion is used to undermine the spiritual power that's innate in the woman. I don't care what preacher it is, the church mother run that bitch. I don't care what preacher it is. The church mother is the mother, she's the power source. Every one of the churches, you don't never go to a church and they don't got a church mother, no matter how big or how small.
Facts. Big facts.
They got Big Mama not finna let these motherfuckers sit there and lie to you and don't have a Big Mama watching his motherfucking ass. You're just not going to do it. So we hid a lot of our stuff in the church, but we got so intoxicated with Christianity that we couldn't get our shit back out. We didn't know that catching the Holy Ghost shouting in church was our original custom before they ever came. That's what we used to do around the fire. What they call shouting. They didn't tell you speaking in tongues. That ain't part of the original church.
Right.
The way we speak in tongues, that's from our earthborn religions. That go back into antiquity, ancient times. So now, how do we put it back together? Now that we know that they turning our boys against each other, the best thing we can teach them is don't fall for that trap. Every time you make peace with one of the brothers out there in the street, you slay that goddamn devil psychology. So we be on a peacekeeper mission. And it say right in the book, blessed are the peacekeepers, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Right? So we don't naturally fight each other and kill each other like this.
Right.
That's not natural to us. That means there's somebody here that's compelling us to do something that we naturally would not do to each other. And we find out that the only reason why it worked because they look like us, but they ain't us. They don't love us like we love each other. They don't root for us to win when we root for each other to win. We root for them Obama-ass motherfuckers to win because they look like us. Right. Then when they get in their political positions of prominence, they turn around and stab us in the back in our face. And then we act like we didn't even see that shit. I think I need a drink of water. Bitch ass nigga.
Facts.
There's no way I'm a president of the United States and I'll take this bitch over.
So, okay, so is it your job to constantly be looking for matriarchal women or strong black women or
I'm not looking for nobody. I'm giving out free information to anybody that want to recover their kingdom.
Okay, fair enough. I just thought,
I'm spilling the proverbial beans of how they kept us under this oppressive genocidal regime we was under.
Okay, have you written any books?
No, but I got a whole lot of lectures.
Okay.
Yeah. I got a whole bunch of posts on Facebook and Instagram.
For sure. Do you want them in book form?
I eventually, when I download my data, because I can't wait to get off social media. When I get off, I'm going to download my data and organize it into pamphlets.
Okay, cool. None your business. How are you? Did she just get here?
Yeah, I think she
said, he told us already. I'm scared to ask again, but I will. So for the sake of those who wasn't here an hour or two ago, how do we get our power back? You said we got it already.
Right? Yeah. Look, the government was closing and they wrote the Indigenous Rights Act. When you read the Indigenous Rights Act, it basically tells you that if you revert back to your original culture and move in a form of a matriarchy, there's nobody that's supposed to stop y'all, and you have the force of the U.S. military to back you up. But you can't activate it until the matriarchs start forming their sisterhoods. And you can start on the city-by-city basis, right? Go find all of the women that run all of the community events and the mothers in the neighborhoods. And y'all pick spokesperson from each neighborhood and y'all go down to City Hall and assert y'all right as the matriarchs to reclaim the land and to discontinue the services of the de facto corporation.
But that sounds like, that would be possible, say, like in the South and some small towns in the
The
South.
law, the law of the land is the law of the land. You looking at the law of admiralty and maritime jurisdiction. That don't got nothing to do with us.
I'm looking
As
at
long as we intoxicated with their law system, we can't use ours. Our system is older than their system. Our system was in place, and then they superimposed their system on top of ours. All y'all have to do, the Indigenous Rights Act is the blueprint. It basically tells you that all of the stuff that you have access to when you restore the matriarchy and reclaim your community. The matriarchs always start at the grassroots level with the local community, because the mothers in the local community know what needs, this community need this. We know it needed because we all live here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the fathers is supposed to be out working. They don't have time to look at the needs of the local community like the mothers do. But now you got a lot of working mothers, so they have to bring in their sisters that's not working to be their spokesperson, because they doing the same. They doing daddy role now, daddy duty. So she can't be there with the child all day like she want to be. She got to go clock into Mr. Charlie's job,
right,
to make these ends meet. But never knowing that as soon as the matriarch starts saying, okay, y'all can leave, and then when they leave and give you the key to the city, then you understand what I'm talking about. Because the mayor got to pass the key to the city to the matriarch, that's the matriarch of the town. The chiefs can do it, but they have to do it by force. Big Mama didn't want no more bloodshed. So she said, just tell the women how to reclaim their power. So you set up neighborhood committees of mothers, incorporating all of the social groups in the neighborhood. The leaders of those groups is the mothers of that group. And y'all come together and discuss what that community needs. The people down there, they just there to pay the bills for y'all to implement y'all programs. But since the matriarchy haven't been running, all they've been doing was accumulating the debt, and the debt becomes a national debit to restore the structure. That money they owe y'all. They don't owe it to no goddamn banks. That's why they rolled in the account. They talk about reparations. That's the national credit right there.
Well, that would be one. I want to chime in if I can, Baba, real quick. That would be one of the problems when you said we were dealing with the grievances, and the reason why the matriarch hasn't come back into power is that, first of all, we haven't taken the time to re-educate ourselves. We have to understand we're all miseducated first through the language. And because we're miseducated through the language itself, we have these schisms. So now we have these mental contracts, verbal contracts, and social contracts that leave us in constraints. You see, so now we're constrained because we haven't taken the time to back up and re-educate ourselves. So now we have a huge insecurity within the communities because the matriarch isn't properly educated. And I'm going to always hit on this note because I'm a homeschooler, and I noticed that the lack of education comes from the fact that we're afraid to educate our own children. For some reason, we're blanked out to the fact that we have the ability to educate our own, despite that we have been dumbed down and lackly educated within their colonial system. That which I seek is seeking me. If I'm seeking the road to elevate my seed, it will come to me. but we have to be willing to sit down and get the same education we want our seed to have.
Right.
See, and those are the steps we haven't taken as matriarchs, that we have to reconfiscate and get divinity over the mind first, that pineal gland, which we keep hitting on all throughout the presentation. So yeah, I just wanted to hit on that real quick because you're going real hard in on that. But we have to be accountable as matriarchs when you say you're here. So what are we not doing as the matriarch to make this come to fruition?
So the biggest obstacle that I didn't see is the sister hate. I ain't finna do nothing with no pack of bitches. You don't want to get this monkey off your back, because your ego is making you think that you don't want to be around or deal with no sisters, but that connection is facilitating a power structure.
That's right. Yep, you hit it on the head though. That's the reason.
And then a lot of when Elijah Muhammad said the last trick of the devil be to free to give you his woman, you can tell his woman, because she don't want nothing to do with no sisterhood. She don't want nothing to do with no sisters. And she don't want you to do nothing to help no sisters. It's all about her and only her. She don't give a damn about nobody else. That's not how our women vibrate naturally. When our women be vibrating like that, that's speaking from trauma. And if they ain't did their shadow work, they gonna think like that too. So the first thing is the sister healing groups is the most powerful thing y'all can do right now. Sisters just getting together to spend time with each other to do nothing. Just be in each other energy. That raises the group mitochondria. That's what the Salem witch hunt was all about. That's what they was trying to stop. So when the sisters do the shadow work and get to the point where they can sit in a room full of sisters and just be a woman for free. Just be a woman for free. Not arguing with no man about no dick, none of that shit. Just being in your womanness as a woman for free. That sister healing group was so powerful it could cure cancer immediately. But we always got to come in and I got to tell her about herself. But don't want nobody to tell you about yourself. I don't know who she thinks she is, call herself telling me. Right? So that's the biggest obstacle. And that's because they mix their women with our women, and that's a horrible mix. If our women wake up to who they is, they can smell the other bitch before she get there. Because you don't believe in Yoni Care.
Also, my brother, it's in the program too that whatever we see on TV, we're going to mimic, buy, claim as if it's our culture or tradition. We just don't ever want to be left out of anything. And them knowing this, the music, they could use us with the music. They could use us with any sitcom they want to make about whatever they want to capture, like doing our consciousness movement that we started off doing by spreading the truth at first. Now it seems like mainstream media got it and now have let people in just for how cool it is to know shit now. But they don't go back and try to know shit so that they stay on the truth plane. They just want to be cool and know, like, want to look Egyptian now or want to do something that's associated with the real or the old unintentional movement. because it was just that new information was coming along. So of course we're gonna want to spread that new information. It got rejected because it was in the form of truth. So what do? They come along with their little wokeism and play like everybody can be woke or anybody can be woke. But no, not if you're not doing the research, learning things for real, trying to get to know yourself and not just following a fad or a trend so you can live under the name of wokeism or consciousness. I mean, they've torn that down now. If they want you to be a drug addict and drink scissor, then just make all the music about that. It's so easy to target in so many ways, and they'll do it through the youth, and not just like teenagers, but all the way up to like the 20s and 30s. They can have us at any age, on any subject, on anything that they want to program in. If they want us making babies, then they'll bring back R. Kelly. They want,
Oh, he on his way.
Let him out. Shit.
He about to get out.
I ain't mad at R. Kelly.
Look,
check it out. Yeah.
Now, R. Kelly's situation is so foul. R. Kelly is like an idiot savant. He a musical genius, but a social idiot. I'm serious.
Right.
Socially, he's intellectually like a second grader.
But did he have a lesson to learn, or are they Bill Cosby and him?
Look, if you go back and review the R. Kelly case and find out how he beat all them girls, there's some grown ass stinking bastard bringing these babies to the studio. So that he was being set up from the word go, it's obvious. The problem is when he went down, none of the dirty bastards that was feeding these babies to him was even questioned.
So did he have a lesson to learn or not?
He retarded.
Damn.
He retarded. Ain't no, that's the best way I could say it where you could grasp. He's socially retarded, but he's a musical genius. He a Rain Man. That's what he is. An idiot savant.
And so yeah, if he can't read or write, but he can cause over 50% of a population to be born through his music, then there is something there. There's definitely something there.
So they only reason why they trapped him up in that court case because they was trying to steal R. Kelly's royalties. Damn. But somebody got his paperwork where he can't even get his money, but it'll pay his child support. Right. So that's just to keep whoever it was trying to set him up from stealing all of his money when they got done misusing him. Somebody got to go in there and find out why these artists ain't getting their money.
Damn! Wow.
Well, they getting paid.
They're getting their money stolen from them through a sharecroppers contract that they call 360 record deal. When they get done with the record deal, the artists end up with no assets, and the record company